Hi everybody, welcome back to Chiquel's YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I am here today to talk to you about this amazing wig on my head right now. Let's just have a moment of silence for this. It's so good. I love it. This is a new color by Estetica on the wig Avalon. And I'm gonna tell you all about this piece in just a minute. But before I do, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Okay, so Estetica just came out with some new red colors, including this one. This one is called Mandarin Rooted, and it's beautiful. It is so stinking beautiful. I am in love. This might be my new favorite color. I don't even know. You might be looking at this thinking it looks a lot like Raquel Welch's Shaded Ice Pumpkin Spice. And you're right, it does. It's similar, and I'm going to show you the difference in a minute. But first, I'm just going to talk about the color for a second. It's a very orangey, coppery color, and we do have a little bit of blonde running throughout it. And then we also have roots. However, these roots, I love them because they are quite subtle root actually. I feel like they're coming off a little bit darker in the screen than they are in person, but they are quite a subtle root and they smudge so nicely into the rest of this color. It's really natural rooting. I really love it. So I hope you can see that blonde coming through. It's like a golden blonde coming through the coppery orangey tone that this has going on. But like I said, you're probably thinking this looks a lot like Shaded Ice Pumpkin Spice. It does, but there are some differences. So I would say that Mandarin Rooted, which is Estetica's newer color, is lighter and brighter and more vibrant. Shaded Ice Pumpkin Spice is a little bit more of a muted version of it, in my opinion, and a little bit darker. Hopefully you can see. Also, these roots are a little bit darker than Mandarin Rooted. So overall, same idea, because this is still a coppery, gingery color with blonde highlighting throughout it. Same as this, but darker, muted, brighter, more vibrant. Lighter roots, darker roots. Hopefully this helps. Okay, now let's get to this actual wig called Avalon. I'm gonna start by just taking this off, giving you a little rundown of the cap here. So we have a temple to temple lace front. It's not extended, so it doesn't extend further into your ear tabs. Just temple to temple, so it goes around here. It goes right into your left monofilament part, which extends all the way to the back here. So it's really nice to have that extended left monofilament part. So we have about an inch space here that you can work with to create that part line. The rest is just a closed wefting on top where we will see a little bit of permatease up there. And then open wefting throughout the rest of the cap. This is great for ventilation. It's nice and stretchy. Now, our ear tabs are just standard, basic ear tabs. There's no velvet lining on them. And same with your nape here. It's an extended nape, but it's not lined with velvet. So just keep in mind that it might not feel as comfortable as those velvet caps would feel. However, that being said, it's not that it's uncomfortable or anything. I find it to be still a really lightweight, comfortable cap. And then in terms of the adjusters here at the nape, these are hook adjusters. So, pardon me, this cough I have has been lingering so long and it's not going away. And oh my gosh, I am so tired of coughing, but I just can't stop. Anyways, let's hope that it goes away soon. I'm gonna put this back on for you. Okay, now, please know that the wig I am showing you right now is not fresh out of the box. This is like 2 days old. I did a video on Instagram about this wig and how to make it look more natural right out of the box. And actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step to the side for a second and I'm gonna show you that video here in case you're not on Instagram and in case you didn't see it. I'm gonna put it here just for a second. I'll be back. Let me show you how to get your synthetic wigs looking amazing right out of the box. I'm gonna show you this with Estetica's Avalon, and oh my goodness, she is just the cutest wig ever. You're gonna love her. Plus, you're gonna die over this new color they have called Mandarin Rooted, which is this beautiful coppery color that I just cannot get enough of. Okay, whenever I get a new wig, I like to hold it upside down and give it a good shake. And this is gonna help loosen up the fibers and break up that zigzag part that it always comes in. It's also gonna make it not so perfect when you put it on, because one of the telltale signs of a wig is just when it looks way too perfect. All right, this particular wig has a left monofilament part. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag my finger through and get my part all ready to go. Okay, now this side is doing a great job at going away from my face, but this side, as you can see, the fibers are just wanting to come forward. The easiest way to fix this is to bring it back and away from your face. Take a water spray bottle and spray your fibers, clip it back, and then let it dry. If you find this isn't working as well as you want it to, then I suggest using a steamer. On a blockhead with the hair clipped back, you're gonna steam just at the roots, making sure not to go through the whole wig, because the steam will then remove part of the style. Once your fibers have cooled down from the steam, you can take out your clip, and they're gonna be trained to go back and away from your face. And now to dull some of the shine, I'm gonna spray all over with some dry shampoo. Make sure you read below for even more tips. Okay, so there you have it. I hope that showed you kind of more what it looked like right out of the box, which, I mean, it's not too different from this, but I did do a couple little tweaks on it to help, of course, train this hair to go away from my face. So that's a little trick you can do with your steamer on any synthetic piece to help your hair go away from your face, because I know that's a big problem with so many synthetic wigs. Okay, so not only did I do those little things to this piece, I also wore it one time. I wore it out for dinner last night, and it was lovely. There were no complaints. There honestly weren't even too many tangles happening. I haven't even brushed this since I wore it for dinner, and it's not too bad. So on a piece like this that's nice and wavy, aren't these, let's just take a minute to look at this cute little wave pattern it has. Aren't they cute? But on a piece like this that is wavy, really make sure you're not using a big bristle brush to brush through, because this is gonna then go and they're gonna get really frizzy really fast, and you're gonna totally ruin your curl pattern. I would definitely suggest using a wide tooth comb, making sure you start at the bottom. Hold on, I'm gonna go get a wide tooth comb and I'm gonna actually do this. I don't know why I'm talking about it and not doing it. Hold on, I'm back. I don't know why, I need to be more prepared for my videos. I just kind of like, bleh, I talk and then I'm like, oh, I should do this. And then, anyways, okay. Wide tooth comb working at the bottoms, making sure if you reach any knots or any tangling, you don't pull through, you kind of work through again. Also, you can use some detangling spray on this and that will help too, but be super gentle with it. I would even suggest before a wide tooth comb on a wavy piece to just use your fingers and finger comb it. That's going to be your most gentle approach to helping these curls or waves last as long as they can without getting too frizzy and too fuzzy looking. Okay, now, like many synthetic fibers out there, synthetics are going to be shiny. Of course, you're going to find the odd synthetic that it's, you know, a lot more lifelike, and then you're going to find the odd synthetic where it just looks like doll hair and you're like, ew, goodness gracious. No, thank you. This one I find is not too bad for the shine. It is a little shiny, but it's not insanely shiny. It's kind of somewhere in the middle of all of that mix, but it's really not too bad. But as you saw in my video I was just posting here on top of this, I did use some dry shampoo to spray it all over. You are going to find though that synthetics in comparison to heat-friendly synthetics are going to be a little bit more shiny. So here's that heat. This is a heat-friendly synthetic fiber on the shaded ice pumpkin spice color, and this is just synthetic. So you will see that this synthetic is a little shinier than this one. So heat-friendly synthetics are going to be a more matte version of a synthetic. A little bit more lifelike in terms of the shininess of the fibers. Okay, let's take a deeper look at this wig, shall we? Let me show you this lace front that I am actually pretty impressed by. I hope I'm kind of coming into focus here. Anyways, the knots are not super big, And what I love about this lace front is that it's not super dense. So sometimes you're gonna come across lace fronts and there's just so much hair, even though it is a lace front, it's almost like why even bother, because there's so much hair you can't even like work through it and it just looks lumpy when you try and pull it off your face. But this one is not super dense. It's just the perfect amount of hair in my opinion. You can see the knotting, of course, because it is a darker fiber as opposed to a blonde in the front here. But you can take some makeup and dab into your lace to help blur the knotting a little bit. And here is the part line. Now, below here, you can kind of see my scalp. Like, I have a bit of hair there, so you can sort of see through that. If you want more of a scalp-like appearance, you could wear a wig cap underneath and that would help. Or I would suggest you get some scar tape. Oh, the lace folded under here. Or you could get some scar tape from Amazon, which is like a skin color, and you can tape underneath your wig and it's gonna give you more of a scalp-like color, scalp-like appearance. I was gonna say experience, but a scalp-like appearance, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. All right, now the density on this piece, I would probably give it probably a medium density, I would say. Light to medium. There's not too much hair on here, but where you are gonna run into the idea that you might think there's more hair is because there is permatease. So there is permatease at the crown, there's permatease on the top here, and there's permatease on the sides. And there's, you know, there's a good chunk. There's a good chunk of permatease. It's not like there's not any at all, because there definitely is some permatease, and you can really work into the fibers to get that permatease active and giving you that volume that you might want with this piece. So she can get big and bushy if you want, or you don't have to use it. You can pat her down a little bit so she's a little bit more tame. But there is permatease, so if you are not into the big hair, or you feel as though it's just gonna be too much for you, then you might not love it. Now, I used to hate permatease. I used to be like, get away, absolutely not. But first, lately, I've been appreciating it more on the pieces that it works with. There are some pieces that I still believe should not have the amount of permatease that it has. Or there are some pieces where I feel like the permatease is just not done nicely. But on a piece like this where you have these waves, having this permatease here to give the volume up here so that it matches the rest of it, it's just a nice look. However, I understand how, you know, this wouldn't necessarily be like an everyday wig because it is, you know, it's done up. I wouldn't wear this with a hoodie and sweatpants because I would feel mismatched. I would feel like my hair is amazing and then the rest of me is just like, ugh, you know? So I wouldn't necessarily consider this an everyday wig, but I would definitely wear this out and about wearing like actual clothing. Okay, let's talk about the lengths of these. We have about 10.5 inches at the front here. The sides, so we have also 10.5 inches. From the crown, there is going to be about 12.5 inches of length there. And from your nape, so that's at the back here, there is about 9.5 inches there. Something I really love about this is that even though there is that permatease, which I should mention, it's nice and pillowy and soft. It's not like hard and chunky, if you know what I mean. It's nice and pillowy and soft in there. And although this, you know, it's a light to medium density. There's not a ton of hair, but there's not a lot of hair. This is a really lightweight wig. Like, I don't feel like I'm wearing a lot on my head. It feels nice and lightweight, and the fibers are really soft and smooth. I really like the feeling of this, even though there's not any velvet ear tabs and there's not any velvet nape. It still feels really nice to wear. With that being said, let's talk about the fit of this. So I do find that in general, Estetica usually fits me pretty big. So this does, I would say, fit average to a little bit bigger than average. And it always tends to have a lot of stretch in it. Like Look at all that space you can get in there. I can fit a little monkey in there if I want. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, this would fit. I mean, I am a petite size. I am jumping all over the place. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am a petite size. I am 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 front to nape, and 11.5 ear to ear. I have these adjusted on the almost, I could actually go even more, but I have them on almost the tightest setting. I would bring it in more actually. And it feels fine around my circumference when it's the tightest. There is still some bulk in the rest of the cap, as there always is for me as a petite head size whenever I wear average sizes. This can fit an average person for sure, and this could fit an average large person, I would say, for sure. There's just, you know, there's space back there, and clearly enough space in here as well. And it's not like I'm trying really hard. It's not like super tight tension there. It's not gonna make you feel like it's too tight. So this would be good for a lot of different sizes. Okay, I find, like I mentioned earlier, that sometimes I'm just all over the place. My brain like can't focus on one thing at a time. I like think of one thing and then I'm like, oh, I should talk about this. Oh, I should talk about this. And then I talk about the same thing 5 minutes later. And I'm like, I need to like clump my ideas more into sections, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like maybe I should be more organized and scripted, like have an outline of what I'm talking about, because I generally just go like blah, and then I'm jumping all over the place. So, but then at the same time, I feel like if I am more organized, I'm gonna just sound way too scripted, and it's just gonna be boring to watch. So I don't know. Sorry if I'm too frazzly for you. Okay, so I've talked about the fibers, I've talked about the fit, I've talked about the lace front, monofilament part, wefted cap. We've talked about how it feels. I showed you the video on how it came out of the box. Talked about permatease and density. Did I cover all of my things? I think I did. If I did not, then please go ahead and ask questions below. I'm happy to answer them for you. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So thank you so much for being here and watching me through this train wreck. If this is something you're interested in, then please go ahead and check out our website at chiquel.com, or chiquel.ca if you're in Canada, or chiquel.com.au if you are in Australia. And I'm gonna skedaddle, let you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye everybody.